Hi, Jenny.
Hello.
Could you tell us why you chose to pursue an MSW degree?
Sure. In my previous career, I worked with a brilliant neurologist. Her name was Wendy Mitchell, and I worked with her conducting clinical research for many years. So when I completed my bachelor's degree, Dr. Mitchell asked, "So, Jenny, you have to continue pursuing your education." And I told her, "Well, I really don't know, what to pursue my education in." And she said, "Well, start exploring different careers." So, luckily, I think the universe just heard my call, and I was able to witness a very, very aspiring social worker where I worked in the hospital. Her name was Rosalind Grushkin, and I saw her work her magic with a parent who was very, very having a hard time with their son, who was 3 months old, newly diagnosed with a really, really bad form of epilepsy. And the parents were just so emotionally distressed. And so I vividly remember the father being so angry, and he punched a hole in the wall, and the mom just crying unconsolably. And so I remember that Rosalind was paged to come and provide support for the family. So then, from this situation where you had these parents who were just giving these, horrible news about their child, which also happened to be their firstborn. I saw her just use her skills and compassion and just really just de-escalate the situation. And at that moment, I told myself, "Gosh, I want to do what Rosalind just did. I want to learn, exactly what she just did, and I want to serve and do the work that she's doing." And that's when I further connected with Rosalind, and she really served as my mentor. And she also connected me with other social workers in the hospital, who also provided a lot of mentorship. So I was very fortunate.
Okay, great. So then you came to APU in the 4-year part-time
Yes.
program. So you were working full-time. Can you tell us briefly what it was like juggling school, work, family, homework?
Yes. Oh my gosh. It was challenging. It was very challenging. Just being a first generation Latina, pursuing a graduate degree, and also being the first one in my family to pursue, a college degree was just a challenge itself, But luckily, I had the unconditional support from my parents, my siblings, friends, Dr. Mitchell, and other mentors who I knew that I could count on when I needed that support. And of course, first and foremost, the grace of God. He really, really was there to listen to me no matter what. No matter what I had to, talk to him about. And that was so instrumental for me.
So you moved through the 4 years with the same group of students. How was that helpful to you?
It was very, very helpful. My experience as a social work student at APU was so amazing. I really loved my cohort. I really liked the close knit of what a cohort provided for me. And just, I remember the APU social work faculty being so supportive also, and always being there taking care of us and providing, those next steps or information. There was never a silly question. So they were always there for us, and that was very important for me as a student.
And so now you're working as a medical social worker at City of Hope, and I know you've supervised some of our current and previous students, and you're about to hire another one, which is great. Can you tell us what does your job entail now as a medical social worker?
So right now, I have the opportunity, besides being a medical social worker, to also conduct clinical research, which is a personal passion of mine just based on my previous career. So I'm able to bring that into the social work area, so that's great, right? I work with the Couples Coping with Cancer program. So I see patients in the Women's Center. These are breast cancer patients and their partners who are newly diagnosed or have advanced breast cancer disease. So as you can imagine, cancer really brings havoc into people's lives. And what I've learned is that cancer doesn't just impact the patient, but it impacts the partner, or it impacts the family as a whole. And a lot of the patients that I see, they struggle when, with their families or their significant others on how to know how to cope and support one another when they're dealing with a serious illness. So that's what I do, and the goal of our program is really to identify and address cancer distress, and also provide psychoeducation for the couple in order to for them to cope and best support each other, and really focusing on the communication and problem-solving skills, and also just give them tools and skills on how to live, that relationship that they've always wanted despite the cancer diagnosis. And from the Couples in Coping with Cancer program, another beautiful program extension, I call it the extension because it's like a branch, flourished, where we're able now to provide this intervention to our Spanish-speaking patients and families. And we also provide information to our community. So we're doing a lot of community outreach with local organizations that also provide services to cancer patients. So that's been incredible also. So what we do, we provide presentations and workshops, and really we hold a safe space for our Latino, patients and their families to really talk about and have those discussions about cancer, which typically are not talked about, at home. So I've heard them tell me a lot of times that it's very beneficial just to have that safe place to really just talk about it and normalize the situation and validate, like, hey, there's other people that are also going through the same thing that I'm going through. So that's a brief description of the clinical pieces of our program, but our program has other components also, which are program development, which include like program implementation, working with stakeholders, working on grants, working with a multidisciplinary team, and also conducting research. And also I don't want to forget, we also do program evaluation, because we want to make sure we're doing the best to serve our patients. And also it gives us an opportunity to improve our services for our patients. So that's really important also.
So although you're officially a clinical social worker,
yes,
you are still doing macro social work.
I am. So I was able to blend in all these different skills, that I learned at APU, and it's been amazing. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us, and we're excited that you're working here, because we know when you came in the program, you always wanted medical social work. So it's good that you've come full circle and got exactly where you want to be.
Yes, thank you.
So,
Thanks for having me. Thank you.